Hi guys, welcome to the hangryhubster YouTube channel. Here's another new video, so don't forget to subscribe, like our video, and please hit that notification bell to get notified of any future videos.
Under the flame there's a tunnel, and that's where the tragic accident took place in 1997 with Lady Diana and her partner Jody Lafayette. So that's why the flame has turned into an official memorial for the princess. Every day people with flowers around it, and they hang handcuffs around the flame to commemorate Lady Diana. closed. That's what he's doing right now. Amazing, right? Yes, as we are entering the twilight zone. And yes, we made it. This is the courtyard of the Louvre Museum. More than 35,000 works of art. More than 9 million people a year, they visit the Louvre. Now here on the left side you can see a pyramid. Really? Yes, that's a pyramid. It was commissioned by François Mitterrand, the French president during the 80s. He said the old entrance was insufficient. Nobody was able to find it. So together with his favorite architect, I.M.P., he created the new main entrance to the Louvre Museum. But the French said, how can you build something that modern next to something that old? Crazy people. But he said, I'm the president, I can do whatever I want. So that's the main entrance of the museum. On the right side, you can see it's a small version of the bigger version, which you can see if you look through the arch, the straightest one in Europe, the Arch of Triumph, right at the end of the boulevard. And here on the left, we can find another pyramid. We cannot see it because it's hanging upside down. It's called the inverse pyramid. And according to the Da Vinci Code, the Holy Grail is buried there. Yes, according to many Americans, that's true. McDonald's is right under the pyramid. Like I said, more than 35,000 works of art, but everybody only wants to see that one and only painting, the Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo DiCaprio. No, Da Vinci, of course. Yes, I'm testing you. Da Vinci. I always say if you stand in front of Mona, turn around, take a picture of the crowds. It's way more interesting than the painting itself. She's tiny. I mean, she's like a big postcard. And there are hundreds of people in front of the painting who's singing, looking, trying to get the best picture. So that might be way more fun to look at. Here on the left side, the French flag that it's Tuesday. Yeah, this is not a good museum day, but tomorrow it will be open until 9:45 p.m. In the world, from the back. Well, that used to be the most romantic bridge in the world. There were thousands of padlocks attached to the bridge. It was a tradition that you would bring your partner to the bridge, attach the padlock, throw the key into the water solution, and that would seal your everlasting love. Now that bridge got too heavy, so they removed all the padlocks, so no more everlasting love in Paris. I'm sorry for that. This is stop number 5, the best stop to hop off if you would like to have a nice stroll alongside the river, and nobody's leaving the bus ride, so I will continue right. It was inaugurated in 1607 by Hangry, and Hangry was one of the most beloved kings of France. The French, they really loved him. He did a lot of good things for the economy. And here on the right, we can see a statue of the man himself. That's Henry IV. We have just left the right bank of Paris, and this is an island, Ile de la Cité, the city island. And this is where it all started. Long time ago, I'm not going to tell you a fairy tale, but long time ago, there was a chicken market there. How do you make a police officer angry? Well, you can steal his hat, or you can call him chicken. We are looking at the meeting point, the fountain of Saint Michael. It depicts the archangel Saint Michael defeating the fallen angel Lucifer. And on Saint Patrick's Day, the water is green. Only on Saint Patrick's Day. Get your cameras ready, because here she comes. If you would like to make a picture with a very old lady, this is your chance. The most famous cathedral in the world, the Notre-Dame, right in front of us. It means Our Lady. And the construction started in 1163, and it took more than almost 200 years to create the cathedral. You can see it's a very a Gothic work of art. There are a lot of gargoyles around, and those are the little creatures to scare away the bad spirits, but they're also drain pipes. So when it starts raining, they spit water. We're gonna circle the Latin Quarter first, and then we are heading to stop number 6, which is the official stop for the Notre-Dame Cathedral. We will reach that stop in about 10 minutes time from now. I have to disappoint you though. Quasimodo does not live there. No, it was just a story, but Victor Hugo, I know, right? Maybe Esmeralda does, the Disney version, but you can explore the Notre Dame yourself to find out. The Notre Dame is open until 6 p.m. The entrance is on the right side, the exit on the left side. It's free to enter, but if you would like to climb the tower, 387 steps, then it's about 10 euros to go all the way up to the top of the tower. We have just left ℃𝒶𝒹𝓃, the city island, and now we're on the Rive Gauche, the left bank of Paris. This is the Latin Quarter. More than 300 restaurants in this neighborhood. You can always find something you like. You can even find a cafe where you can lived on the island where the Notre Dame is right now. They led a very relaxed life. They did a lot of fishing, a lot of sleeping, a lot of nothing. And then the Romans showed up. Now, in general, it's bad news when Romans show up, because that means you're going to conquer everything you have, and even worse. The Romans, they took over the island and they called it Lutetia. And according to Roman tradition, they built a lot of things here in this neighborhood. You can even find a Colosseum, just like Rome, where they had gladiator fights, like Ben-Hur, etc. It's called Arène de Lutèce, the Arena of Lutetia. And this was like the semi-final. If you would win here in Paris, then you would have privilege going to Rome and joining the finals in the old city. You can also find the old remains of the bath houses, the thermos, very important for the Romans. That's where they had big meetings and they made the important decisions. The thermos are right next to a medieval art museum, Musée Cluny, all here in the Latin Quarter. As we are heading back to the Notre Dame, I will show you one of the most conservative churches in Paris. It's called Saint-Nicolas, St. Nicholas Church. It's coming up on the right side. And it's the only church in Paris where you can still attend a service in Latin. So if you would like to hear how a mass sounds in Latin, here on the right side, that's the place to be, Saint-Nicolas. We are heading to stop number 6, Notre Dame. I always say, don't just stand there in front of the cathedral, walk around it, because the sides and the back side are just as amazing as the front side. It was one of the first buildings in the world who used flying buttresses. What are those? Well, good question. Those are the stone arms, the columns, which hold up walls, and in this way they could make the walls thinner and higher, and they could easily place the stained glass windows inside. And those windows are the highlights of the Notre Dame. It took 150 years to create those windows. If the sun shines through, it looks like a show of light and color. In the speech of the Pope, Napoleon got impatient. So he grabbed the crown out of the hands of the Pope and he put it on his own head. He said, not even a God's representative can crown me emperor because I am Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, that was Napoleon in 1807. And there are big bells inside the Notre Dame. The biggest one, the Bourbon bell, is called Emmanuel. If you hear the bells ringing, it's always Emmanuel which rings first. And we are back at the cathedral. After the traffic light is stop number 6, which will be the best stop to hop off if you would like to explore the Latin neighborhood or if you would like to visit the Notre-Dame, which is open until 6 p.m. I wish you a great Tuesday afternoon here in Paris. Enjoy the beautiful weather, and I hope to see you soon again. Bonne journée, au revoir. This is stop number 6 right here. They go to one of the 300 restaurants or cafes. It was created by Galeries Lafayette, a famous architect, just to cover up the ugly wall, which is right behind it. The Fountain of St. Michael. On the right side, we can see the Supreme Court inside. And inside you can find a beautiful chapel, ℚ𝒶𝒹𝓂. In my opinion, it's more beautiful than the Notre-Dame. There are stained glass windows all around. The only church you need to pay for, but well worth the money, ℚ𝒶𝒹𝓂. Coming up on the right side, the oldest bridge in Europe. It's called the Pont. That means new bridge, more than 400 years old. There are 381 faces on the bridge, and those are divinities from antique mythology. Pont on the right side. Coming up on the left side, that might be the place to be. That's where they make money. Yeah. Monnaie de Paris, the mint, the oldest institution of France. That's where they make the euro coins, etc. Monnaie de Paris. I will show you another very historical, very important building for France. Institut de France. Several academies inside, but the most important one is Académie de Française. Coming up here on the left side. Now, as you might have noticed, the French are very proud of their own language. They don't like to speak English a lot. So what happens if an English word arrives to France? Well, there's a whole group of people and they decide if the word sounds too English or not. If it does, they will come up with a French alternative. They changed the word computer into ordinateur. They wanted to change the word weekend into fin de semaine, end of the week. Well, the French didn't like that, so they are still saying le weekend. But years ago, the iPod came to France. How can you make the iPod sound French? Le blah blah blah. That did not work. But I have to talk about something. After 8 weeks, they decided to make the iPod masculine word. Le iPod. At the E and the I, they get connected. You say iPod, you don't even hear it, but that's what they do the whole day long at the French institution. If you would like to apply for a job, that's the place to be. On the right side, we can truly see how massive the Louvre Museum is. No, you cannot do it in 1 hour. There were researchers, and they said that if you would spend 30 seconds in front of each painting and sculpture, it would take 3 months in a row watching art day and night to see everything. Yes. Today it's closed. Most museums are closed on Tuesday. Being hunted by a police car. But I'm going to show you a museum. It's one of the only ones which is open on Tuesday, which is Monday. As we are heading to stop number 7, and it's my favorite museum of Paris. It's called Musée d'Orsay. Most impressionist art. Vincent van Gogh, Monet, Picasso. You can do the whole museum in 2 or 3 hours. Here on the left side, it looks like a train station because it used to be a train station. They're open today, but part of the staff is they're having a strike. So parts of the museums are not open and other parts are open. Yeah, strike really was a French invention, but this is my favorite museum, Musée d'Orsay. And here on the right is stop number 7. So if you are leaving me, this is the best stop to visit my favorite museum. But nobody's leaving, so I will continue after the break. You look so French. Yes. say, but because the Louvre is closed, everybody goes to this museum, and I have never seen it this crowded before. So here on the left, the entrance of the museum.
It looked empty from the side.
Talking about museums, here on the left, we can see Légion d'honneur. It was commissioned by Napoleon Bonaparte, a little guy with a big ego. He invented an honorary award for all the French soldiers and the French generals. Nowadays, everybody can get this award. Bob Dylan has one, and Paul McCartney has one too. Légion d'honneur. On the right side, you see a lot of boats. Some are party boats, some are houseboats. A very exclusive location, because if you would like to buy a boat, you need to buy the location first. And it starts at 1 million euros. Welcome to Paris, yes. Now it's a tradition for Parisian families to come out during the weekend and have a lovely picnic alongside La Seine. On the left side, you can see a building which looks like a Roman Greek temple. It's the National Assembly, Assemblée Nationale, the lower house of the parliament. And the very first National Assembly started in Versailles, 45 minutes outside of Paris. And back then the conservatives would sit on the right side and the liberals on the left side. And that's where the term comes from, right wing and left wing. From the left to is right here. Look how beautiful Paris is. I always say it's like an outdoor museum. You don't need to go anywhere. You can just drive around. All the beauty is right in front of you. This bridge was created with the old stones of the prison Bastille. In 1789, a group of revolutionaries, they stormed the prison, and that's how the French Revolution started. You probably know the story, Les Miserables. It's all about the French Revolution. If you go to Bastille nowadays, there's nothing much to see anymore. The prison was completely destroyed, but they made a beautiful bridge out of it. Pont de la Concorde. And this bridge is connected to a very historical square. And right in the middle of that square, we can find the oldest monument in Paris. And it's not French, it's from Egypt. Beautiful Egyptian obelisk. Came from Hubster, from the era of Ramses II. Took 7 years before it finally arrived. And then 1 year more before they finally raised the obelisk. They were so proud of that. They put like IKEA instructions on the side. Both sides of the obelisk, they were placed for the World Fair in 1900. They symbolize the rivers and the seas. Here on the left, the fountain of Neptune, the god of the sea. And ahead of us on the right side, we can see the headquarters of the Marine. It's under construction, as you can see. And also on the right, here, right left, ℚ𝒃𝒏. That's the most exclusive hotel in Europe. The most expensive suite is 32,000 euros per night. Breakfast included. So it's a bargain, right? Michael Jackson, Madonna, Justin Timberlake, they have all stayed at ℚ𝒃𝒏. Get your cameras ready again, because we are about to see the most famous shopping boulevard in the world. Probably know that song from Joe Dassin, who wrote it during the 70s. Here it is, ta-da! Oh, Champs-Élysées, oh, Champs-Élysées, oh, soleil sous la pluie, ami, il y a tout ce que vous voulez, Champs-Élysées. So can anybody tell me, thank you, where we are? Because I'm just pretending I don't know. Yes, of course we are on the Champs-Élysées. I can see some of your faces going like, where are the shops? Where are the shops? Don't panic, people. The shops are coming up. This is the part with the trees. And what does Champs-Élysées mean? Well, it means Elysian fields. It's derived from the Greek language, and it stands for heaven. Well, I can tell you it's a heaven for shopping. If you would like to spend your monthly salary in 1 minute, you can do it on this boulevard for sure. All your favorite brands are coming up. Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, Gucci, they are all here on this boulevard. And on the right side, not this ugly gray building, right behind it, there's the house house of the president. Emmanuel Macron, he lives there. Emmanuel Macron is on the top 10 list. He's on the top 10 list of one of the youngest presidents in the world. Here on the left side, we can see a beautiful building called Le Grand Palais, the big palace. It has never been a palace. It's a museum, of course it is. And they have the largest glass roof in Europe. And during Christmas, you can ice skate inside the museum. They build a big ice skate rink inside. The Fashion Week has just finished like 4 days ago. And the foundation of Chanel, she built a replica of a beach inside with real waves and palm trees, and people were sitting on a beach watching a fashion show. 2 years ago, she did she did something even more spectacular. She built a replica of the Eiffel Tower inside the building, all the way up to the rooftop, covered with diamonds. Khloe Kardashian was the guest of honor. I was not invited, I don't know why, but it was a big party inside Le Grand Palais. Is there? That's a royalty or another president coming. I don't recognize the flag, but it is heading to the house of the president. Does anybody know which flag that is? Blue, white, blue? Is it? I'm not sure. Could be Argentina, right? But no, that looks different. Anyway, they are gonna meet the president. If you see a lot of police, a lot of cars, they're always gonna meet the president. Christmas. Look at the trees here. Yes, it's always a lot of work to put more than 100,000 Christmas lights in the trees. And on the 1st of November, there will be a famous person. He or she will push a magic button, and more than 100,000 lights will be lit up. They always start at the beginning of September because it's a lot of work. But this is the city of lights. During Christmas, you can triple the amount of lights. It looks absolutely stunning. You know who that is. I'm going to look it up on Twitter when we arrive at the next stop. Nowadays, not a lot of celebrities go to the Champs-Élysées anymore because they think it has become too commercial, too cheap for their taste. So a lot of side avenues, side streets are more exclusive than this boulevard. One of them, it's called Avenue de la Montagne. It's coming up very soon. Inside the Avenue of the Mountain, Avenue de la Montagne, favorite avenue of Oprah Winfrey, the doorman. They wear white gloves, they open up the door for you, and they only let 1 or 2 people inside per day. So that's where you can spot all the celebrities. It's more exclusive than this boulevard. Here we are. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the shopping area of the Champs-Élysées. Here on the left side, you can find the store of Abercrombie & Fitch, a beautiful golden gate, nice garden to stroll around in. That's Abercrombie. If you're traveling with kids, then inside we can see the Disney store. If you would like to meet Mickey Mouse, that's the place to be. Funny thing to know is that not all stores were allowed on this boulevard. Years ago, H&M was too cheap for the Champs-Élysées. Zara was too simple. But during the years, they have become more flexible. And after many protests, you can even find a McDonald's on the Champs-Élysées. But they have a rule. There is a rule. Yes, all neon signs, they should be displayed in white. That's the rule. So the M for McDonald's, it's not yellow, no, it's white, only on this boulevard. Of course, there are some exceptions. If you put a big bag of money on the table, everything is possible. So there is one store which uses real golden letters. It's the biggest store on this boulevard. Can anybody tell me which one that is? Louis Vuitton, yeah. Yes, we got some fans on board. Wow, yeah, all right. It's coming up. It's coming up. Louis Vuitton, yes. You good? Yes, it's coming up, but in about 5 minutes' time, it's coming up on the left. I will talk about Louis a little bit more. Years ago, there were a lot of protests on this boulevard, not so much anymore, but there were hundreds of angry farmers. I don't know why they were angry. They were very angry. They brought all the cows, the chickens, and the goats to the Champs-Élysées for one day. This turned into the countryside of Paris. Chickens were running into the Chanel store, and they were not happy with that. Not so happy, no. Years ago, a friend of mine, she visited me here in Paris, and she really wanted to go to Louis Vuitton. I said, are you sure? She said, yes, I'm sure. She tried on some flip-flops for the beach, regular flip-flops, plastic ones. And she asked for the price, and they said 1,500 euros. She said, I will think about it. She is still thinking about it, by the way. I saw a tiny black wallet for 5,000 euros. And I thought, I'm never going to put 5,000 euros inside, so let's skip it. But the most expensive handbag they sell is 150,000 euros. Happy shopping! Yes. Almost there. On the left side with the flag on top of the dome, that's Louis Vuitton. Sometimes there are Lamborghinis in front of the door. And you can rent those Lamborghinis for 95 euros for 20 minutes. Then you can drive around the block and say, I will Lamborghini. Louis Vuitton at the corner on the left side. Real golden letters. Yes, it's amazing.
Take me there.
We really got some fans on board. Yes. Coming up on the right side, a very expensive cabaret show. It's actually a good show. The girls, they sing live. They have the ice skate rink on stage. You can join the dinner show every night with champagne included. As we are heading to stop number 8. Stop number 8 is right in front of ℚ𝒃, the Arch of Triumph, commissioned by Napoleon Bonaparte, the first one. And nowadays you can go all the way up to the top of the arch, and then you have a beautiful view on all the 12 avenues surrounding the arch. Whatever you do, do not, I repeat, do not cross the craziest roundabout in the world. I see people doing it every day. They run across the roundabout. That's extremely dangerous. Right next to stop number 8, there's a passageway which leads you under the roundabout, and then you can reach the arch in a safe way. The arch is open until 9 p.m. tonight. We tour guides, we get rewarded with a TripAdvisor review. It's very important for us. So if you're planning to leave me a 5-star review, my name is Daniel. If you're planning to leave me a 1-star review, my name is Pierre. Just so you know. I wish you a great stay here in Paris. This is stop number 8. Have a nice time. Bye-bye. Stop number 8 is on the right. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Side and the right side in the world. This is the Champs-Élysées. It's not. And they used the bridge as the background for the animated DreamWorks movie Anastasia. Under the bridge, there's a nightclub. You can dance until the break of dawn. And here on the left side, you can see some party boats. That's where you can have a nice dinner or a glass of wine. If you would like to be on a boat that moves, I would suggest the river cruise. Stop number 1 will be the best stop to hop off until 10 p.m. at night. You can hop on a boat every whole hour. It's a 1-hour city sightseeing tour. We are turning right, and then at the same time, on the left side, at the end of the boulevard, you can see another beautiful building, ℚ𝒮𝒂 Yes, that golden dome is real gold, and that's where Napoleon Bonaparte is buried. ℚ𝒮𝒃. Paris is divided into 2 parts by the river La Seine, rive droite et rive gauche. And that's where we are right now. We are on the rive gauche, and Paris has 20 different districts. The French, they call them the arrondissements. You can always recognize where you are if you look at the street signs. This number is indicated on the sign, and they form a snail, an escargot. So number 1 starts right in the middle, and then they go around until number 20. Every district has its own mayor. There's one main mayor. She's the face of Paris, Anne Hidalgo. She makes the most important decisions. But every arrondissement has its own city hall and its own mayor, and there are 20 in total. Beautiful view on the Eiffel Tower, and right in New York. Under the flame, there's a tunnel. And that's where the tragic accident took place in 1997 with Lady Diana and her partner ℚ𝒮𝒂 So that's why the flame has turned into an official memorial for the princess. Every day, people with flowers around it, and they hang flowers around the flame to commemorate Lady Diana. Cathedral of the Holy Trinity. There's a cathedral inside, a Russian school, a Russian library. It was an idea of Putin in 2007, and the location alone costed more than 75 million euros. La cathédrale de Sainte-Trinité.
few moments later.
Kain ka na. Again, this is the hangryhubster YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bye guys. Thank you, and see you next time.